Welcome to Line by Line, a new segment of Epic Urban TV that celebrates the urban and minority literary community. We'll be inspired and understand the perspectives of our guests, line by line.
My name is Fred Ogletree, and the name of my book is called The 7 Women I Once Loved that were significant in his life, talking about the 7 women that were special to him. It starts off, and he goes all the way from elementary school up until he's older. And you know, everybody that we meet, you know, everybody we cross paths with, they have a purpose in our life. And this young man is basically just paying respect to young ladies. And you know, some of the story, a lot of people want to know true. I mean, some of it may be true, and some may be added. I pretty much wrote this book in college, and I published it years later, but the story is very relevant. I think all of us can relate to someone that we've been in a relationship with that had a positive impact on our life. Sometimes it can be a negative impact, but for the most part, this young man in the story, it's been a positive impact. I think every young man, when he looks for a young lady to be a part of his life, he's looking for someone who puts him in the mind of his own mother. So it's a positive book, and you don't find a lot of books that talk about relationships from a man's perspective. So that's what makes this book very unique.
Not have a stroke. Instead, I will take the stairs. I will eat healthier. I will work with my doctor. I will do these things because I don't want to have a stroke.
I think the reason that a lot of black relationships are not successful is because a lot of times people in relationships are not equally yoked, meaning that you got to get somebody on the same level as you. You don't want to get somebody that you have to try to bring them up to your level. You need to be on the same level. And when it comes to relationships, a lot of people, they listen to other people. You can't let other people pretty much give you advice on relationships. You know, a lot of people try to give people advice about how to cross a bridge that they never crossed. And when it comes to relationship, that can be the case. So relationship, like I said, you have to be equally yoked. And in Middle Georgia, I think there's an issue with relationships because you got a lot of men who are not really men. Just because you can do things that men do and carry on like men do, that doesn't mean that you're a man. A lot of guys, they're still playing boy roles. You know, you have to grow up at one point in your life. And that's another reason a lot of relationships don't really do good. So, and men act like men. And when I say act like men, I'm talking about taking responsibility and leading by example and being positive role models and having a positive influence in their communities. So that's what we need here. Mostly in Middle Georgia. Out of the 7 women, well, I tell people the number 7 is a symbolic number. It's a number of completion. Out of those 7 women, I would say the first woman that the character met, because they kind of boosted the character's self-esteem. He met the young lady when he was in elementary school, and that's pretty much, that particular person is a real person. And the young lady who I was referring to in the book, I met her in the 3rd grade, and we ended up going to the same elementary school, high school, middle school, and college. And we still speak to this day. She's married, I'm married, but we're still good friends.
Right about now, you're about to be possessed.
before this book was called The Light of the Unjust, and it's basically talking about a young man that's dealing with his spirituality. He's basically trying to find himself. He's trying to find his purpose in the world. And that book, it's some true accounts in that book. I always tell people, read the book. Any questions that you have, I'll discuss with you what's not real. And it's just, like I said, it's a young man dealing with spirituality. And men, we have to have some form of spirituality, especially what's going on in the world. There is a higher being, whether you accept it or not. It's some higher being that we answer to. And I have a third book that's still in the works right now. It's being edited. I really can't speak much on that book because it's still going through the copyright phase, but it's basically talking about the prison system, and it's from an officer perspective and a convict perspective, and it's going to talk about some things that go in the prison system that a lot of people are not aware of. And we have a lot of young black men that are in prison, and even though these young men they may seem like hardened criminals, which some are, they're still human beings, and some of them are very intelligent. It's not hard to become a lost soul, and that's what a lot of our young black men in the criminal justice system are. They're lost souls, but they still can be redeemed. We all can be redeemed of any wrongdoing that we've done. Acting, I started acting, it hasn't even been a year, but I've been blessed to. I started out doing background roles, and I've been featured in a show called Fatal Attraction, Snapped. I've done a couple of commercials, and it's also helped in my writing because, when you're doing acting, you have to memorize scripts. And, a lot of times as a writer, I know a lot of us, we have a bad habit of writing ideas on receipts and things of that sort instead of the journals. And you have to memorize a lot of stuff that you wrote. And I remember one particular time, the book that I wrote, I lost everything, and I had to go back and memorize a lot of things, and it made the project so much better because I left out some key information that I was able to go back and put in the second time around. I think a lot of young men, young black men, can get into writing. I start writing as a way to channel my anger. A lot of times we get angry about things. Some people channel their anger into exercising. Some people punch walls, but I wouldn't do you doing that. But I would recommend, like I hear people say, well, hey, I thought about writing a book. Just don't think about it. Do it. Just do it. Just get you a log book, a journal, and just write down when you have free time. I mean, it's easy. They even have apps on your phone. You can have notes. You can take audio notes and just get your notes together, and just before you know it, you have a story. Everybody in this world has a story to tell. It's just up to you to try to tell it. Well, I don't mind helping people because somebody helped me. The saying goes, each one teach one. So if anybody wants any advice on writing or like acting, I mean, I'm not a very seasoned actor yet. I'm still a work in progress. But as far as writing, I've been doing it a while. If you want to reach out to me, you can email me on Fred Ogletree at bellsouth.net. I also have a web page, fredogletree.com, which I have my books on there, and it tells you a little information about me. So I'm easy to contact. I'm right here in Macon, Georgia.
On an all-new Line by Line, join us in an exclusive interview with Macon, Georgia's native Jerry Anderson and the upcoming biographical theater playwright of his life, The Rise and Fall, Redemption, The Life of Jerry Anderson. And we'll also meet the amazing team behind this new project. You don't want to miss it here on Epic Urban TV.
Stole my husband? Why, you want to make forgiveness? Or no, sweetie. You should no, sorry. You stole my husband, and I would never. So please, go. Forgive you? Are you crazy?
still see straight through you. I know when a man is lying.
Can you prove it though?
Absolutely.
About your murder, what is it?
I'm gonna be on the senator like white on rice.
That's fine. Here's another time. We will have our day in truth.
We'll see.
In court.
We'll see. I'm gonna put the hounds on you. No hiding.
Bring your best.
We got to get the information. And the mayor had it. And wouldn't give it to me. Get your friend to give me some information so I can put it in the newspaper.
And unlike Coach Lex, we gonna be doing things bigger than the mayor's security over here. We gonna be the city to bring this championship home. So stay tuned, we got some great things coming.
Championship home? You need to take care of your own home.
How's your wife doing, by the way?
My wife's business is between me and my wife.
Too bad she couldn't be here, because she's definitely a great company to be around. Well, here's to me whooping that ass all season.
Smith Legal Firm will be defending you to the death.
I'm going to need some help. That's for sure.
Eileen, didn't I ask you about your husband at the fashion show? Didn't you know this was going to happen?
Really?
Yes, really.
I will support him always.
Well, he's going to go down.
Who does that? I believe his wife is stepping out on him.
Woman trouble, huh?
You don't even know the half.
Is you and my sister okay?
What you think?
My sister, man, I know they ain't got rough in Atlanta. Just hang in there with her.
I am trying.
Brother, hang in there, man. Keep fighting for you, man.
I'm trying.
I thought about my movie, The Light of the Unjust, turning that into a film because of the message that it's given. It's no profanity in the book. It's very simple. Anybody, I mean, kids from as far as elementary school all the way up to college level can read the book. And like I say, it's very motivational. A lot of people thought when they read it that I actually took some notes from a book called "Make Me Wanna Holler" that I didn't, because we have a lot of films about relationships. I don't think we need any more films about relationships. Well, the demographic that it would impact is pretty much anyone who has a spiritual belief that wants to improve their way of life, improve their way of thinking. And that's what I think that my book does. It will change the way you see certain things. It will just open your eyes up to a lot of things. I'm working on a project called Love, Blood, and Kindness that's filmed right here in Middle Georgia. And it has a very powerful cast. It has a very powerful message. And I'm just glad to be a part of that project that's right here in Middle Georgia. We don't have to go up 75 to Atlanta to say that we have a quality project being filmed. It's because it's filmed right here. I'm just really looking forward to that being a success, and I'm just thankful to be a part of it. Okay. Well, I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. As strange as it seems, my mother was born and raised in Fort Hill, and my father was born and raised in Pleasant Hill. So you had these two, as they used to say years ago, across the river. They linked up and produced me, and they moved back to Atlanta. And as far as elementary school, which is now Gene Young, named after Andrew Young's first wife, which I had the pleasure of doing activities with when I was at middle school. And I graduated from Frederick Douglass High School, and I went on to Savannah State. It was college then, at Savannah State University, which is a historically black college. I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, one of the oldest black fraternities. We do a lot of community work here in Macon, Georgia. A couple of weeks ago, we did a voter registration drive, and I'm also a member of Delta Sigma Pi Professional Business Fraternity. And I also just go out on my own and try to talk to some of these young men. I work with the Consider the Consequences program through the Bibb County Sheriff's Office, where we try to reach young people and just try to, get them on the right direction. So I just try to do work in the community, because I believe if you're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem. This book is entitled The 7 Women I Once Loved. You can purchase that on Amazon.com. You can get it through ebook. It's an ebook. You can also get it on Kindle in Kindle format. And my other book is called The Light of the Unjust. You also can purchase that on Amazon.com.
Join Epic Urban TV and Line by Line while we host Panay Akpuru and her book, Living Past Your Pain to Live Your Dreams. She is a master hairstylist to the stars. She owns a beautiful salon in Buckhead, Georgia, in the heart of Atlanta. And she will be here in Middle Georgia at 2 locations on October 26th, a Saturday. First at Hairlines Hair Salon, 2515 New Clinton Road, Macon, Georgia 31217. Join her there for a champagne and book soiree. Get your services done, buy some retail and a book, and enjoy free champagne and hors d'oeuvres. And you have a second opportunity to meet Miss Panay Akpuru at the Barnes & Nobles in Macon, Georgia, on Riverside Drive. For more information, please feel free to visit www.panayakpuru.com for more information.